He is one of Hollywood's biggest stars, and she was an ordinary Japanese girl, far from the world of fame. Despite their 32-year age gap and completely different lives, Nicolas Cage fell deeply in love with her and shocked fans when he married Riko Shibata. But who was the mysterious girl who captured his heart? How did they meet? And most importantly, what does their daughter look like today? Before we get into it, because we will get to that little girl, and she is absolutely worth the wait, you need to understand something about Nicolas Cage first. By 2019, this man had been married 4 times. One of those marriages lasted 4 days before he filed for annulment. The tabloids had a field day. People were asking, what is wrong with him? Is he even capable of real love? And then, in a quiet moment on the other side of the world, everything changed. It was 2019. Nicolas Cage was in Japan filming a dark and unusual movie called Prisoners of the Ghostland, a wild action film set in a post-apocalyptic world that mixed samurai culture with American Western style. The film was shot in Shiga, a quiet and beautiful region of Japan, far from the noise of Hollywood. And that is where he met her. Through a mutual friend, Cage was introduced to a young woman named Riko Shibata. She was not a celebrity. She was not chasing fame. She was a young woman from Kyoto, a city known for its ancient temples, its deep traditions, and its quiet beauty. And Cage's first real question to her was not something you would find in a movie script. He asked her if she had any pets. She said yes, 2 pet sugar gliders, small flying squirrels. Cage later told Entertainment Tonight, "I thought, that's it. This could work out." That was the moment. Not a grand gesture, not a movie set romance. 2 people talking about flying squirrels. But that wasn't the real story, because what happened next is where everything got complicated. In early 2020, COVID-19 shut down the world. Borders closed. Flights stopped. Rico went back to Kyoto, Japan. Cage went back to Nevada, and 2 people who had just found each other were suddenly thousands of miles apart. 6 months passed. They did not see each other once. Most relationships would not survive that, but Cage did something nobody expected. After 6 months of FaceTime calls across an ocean, he told her one night, "Look, I want to marry you." And just like that, they got engaged over a phone screen, 6,000 miles apart. He even revealed it live on his brother Mark Coppola's radio show, saying simply, "We were really happy together, and we were really excited to spend that time together." But here is where you have to stop and ask yourself, could you fall in love through a phone screen, across an ocean, not knowing when it would end? Because Cage did, and then he proved it. He knew her favorite color was black, so he had a custom black diamond ring made, personalized just for her. And when it was ready, he shipped it to Japan by FedEx, an engagement ring, sent by mail to a woman in Kyoto. People close to the couple said they had never seen Cage like this before. Something about Riko was different. But who exactly was this woman? Riko Shibata was born and raised in Kyoto, a city steeped in culture and history. She grew up in a world of traditional values and deep respect for Japanese heritage. She was not looking for Hollywood. By the time she met Cage, she was working as an actress and model, still early in her career. She also runs her own kimono brand, her work directly connected to the roots she was raised in. She was, by every account, a private person, quiet, grounded, real. And that was exactly what Nicolas Cage needed, because his past had been anything but quiet. To understand just how much Cage needed this, you need to see the full picture. Because Riko is not just his 5th wife, she is the end of a very long and painful road. He married actress Patricia Arquette in 1995, a relationship that began back in 1987 when he proposed to her almost immediately after meeting her. They divorced in 2001, then came Lisa Marie Presley, yes, the daughter of Elvis. They married in 2002, and it lasted just 107 days. Then came Alice Kim, a young waitress in LA, 21 years younger than him. They married in 2004 and had a son together, Kal-El. That marriage lasted nearly 12 years before ending in 2016. A split Cage said he never saw coming. And then came Erika Koike, a marriage that lasted 4 days before he filed for annulment. 4 marriages, 4 endings. And each time, Cage got back up and tried again. When he met Rico, he was 56 years old. He had 2 adult sons, and he was, by his own words, still looking for the right person. He found her in Japan, and this time, he was not going to let it go. They set the wedding date for February 16th, 2021, a date chosen specifically to honor Nicolas Cage's late father, August Coppola, who had passed away in 2009. It was not just a wedding date, it was a tribute. The ceremony took place at the Wynn Hotel in Las Vegas. Small, intimate, and unlike anything most people expected, they blended 2 cultures, Catholic and Shinto traditions, side by side, and Rico wore a handcrafted Japanese bridal kimono, not a white dress, not Hollywood glamour, a kimono, handmade, traditional, from the culture she was raised in. But here is the detail that most people missed. Cage's ex-wife, Alice Kim, was there at the wedding, along with their son, Kal-El. Think about that. The woman he was married to for nearly 12 years, sitting in the room, watching him marry someone else. And she came. That alone tells you something about the kind of man Cage is, and the kind of family they have all built together. After the wedding, Cage told the Los Angeles Times, "I'm really happily married. I know 5 is a lot, but I think I got it right this time." And he meant it. The world had opinions. Of course it did. 32 years between them, his 5th marriage. She was younger than some of his film roles. The internet had a field day. She's just chasing fame. He'll never change. How long before this one ends too? But Riko Shibata did something that silenced every critic. She disappeared from the spotlight completely. No clout chasing, no magazine exclusives, no Instagram posts seeking validation from strangers. Just a quiet, private life while the world speculated. And that told you everything. And then came the news that made everything complete. In January 2022, it was confirmed. Rico was pregnant. Nicolas Cage, at 58 years old, was going to be a father for the 3rd time. And Rico was going to do it for the first time, under the full, often cruel eye of the public. Because think about what that means. Becoming a mother for the first time, at any age, in any circumstance, is one of the most vulnerable things a woman can do. Now imagine doing it while the world is already debating whether your marriage is real. That was Rico's reality, and she carried it without a single public complaint. On September 7th, 2022, their daughter was born in Los Angeles. Her name is August Francesca Coppola Cage, named after the grandfather she will never meet, Nicolas Cage's father, August Floyd Coppola, a name that carries grief, love, and legacy all at once. At 58 years old, Nicolas Cage became a girl dad. Today, little August is 3 years old. She lives with her parents in a 4,000-square-foot home in Malibu, right on the beach, a house Nicolas bought for $10.5 million in August 2024. Not a status symbol, a home by the ocean for a family that finally stopped running from the noise and just started living. And Rico has kept August almost entirely out of the public eye. No photos posted online, no magazine baby shoots. In a world where celebrity babies become content from day one, that choice is almost radical. It is also the most Rico thing she could have done. But when photos have appeared, the comments are always the same. Does she look more like Nicola or Rico? Just days ago, on May 13th, 2026, Cage and Rico walked the red carpet together in New York City for the Spider Noir premiere, holding hands, coordinated black outfits, smiling, at 62 and 31, still together, still choosing each other. That is the answer to everyone who said it wouldn't last. So tell us, do you think Nicolas Cage finally found the love he was always looking for? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to OO channel for more. As always, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.